Hey guys, welcome back. Today we will be building up on the previous video on how social media is manipulating your mind. Social media platforms use psychological tactics to manipulate your behavior, and it's all based on something called the dopamine reward pathway. Every time you get a like, a notification, or see something that emotionally triggers you, you get a hit of dopamine, the same brain chemical involved in addiction. Over time, this creates a cycle of craving, using, and guilt, much like the patterns we see in substance addiction. Think about that for a second. The only two industries that call their customers users are illegal drugs and software. That's not a coincidence. Now let's talk about self-worth. Social media has the power to hijack your sense of identity. How? We're evolved to care about what other people think of us. But we weren't evolved to handle the opinions of thousands or even millions of people. The constant need for social approval creates this short-term reward cycle, where the more approval we get, the more we crave it, leading us to post, share, and engage more. Over time, it takes over how we see ourselves. We become less about who we are and more about how others perceive us online. The consequences, and this is where the real harm begins. As social media feeds this constant loop of validation and engagement, we're seeing a generation that's more anxious, more fragile, and more depressed than ever before. These platforms are designed to keep us hooked, but the side effect is a serious decline in mental health. Studies show that this addictive environment is contributing to higher rates of anxiety, depression, and even suicide among young people. Algorithms aren't neutral. They're optimized for one thing: success. And success is defined by engagement. Over time, this creates a kind of echo chamber. You'll notice that the more you engage with a certain type of content, the more of that content you'll see. This creates a false sense of reality, where everyone in your feed seems to agree with you, making you more easily manipulated, much like how a magician controls an audience. Fake news spreads faster. Studies from MIT show that fake news spreads 6 times faster than real news on platforms like Twitter. Why? Because the more shocking or emotionally charged a post is, the more likely it is to get shared. And guess what? The algorithms are tuned to prioritize engagement, so these viral posts get boosted, whether they're true or not. This isn't just a tech problem, it's an existential threat to how we communicate and understand the world around us. So, it's not the technology itself that's the threat. It's the way it brings out the worst in society. We need to be aware of how our attention is being traded, how our behavior is being manipulated, and how our identities are being shaped by these platforms. Only then can we start taking back control and using technology in a way that serves us, not the other way around. If you found this video eye-opening, drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Have you noticed how social media is changing the way you think or act? And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology of everyday life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.